In December 1923, in the small town of Drew, Mississippi, an event took place that challenged the injustice of Jim Crow. A black sharecropper named Joe Pullen fatally shot his landlord, then defended himself against a large armed mob over several hours. This event also raised crucial questions about resistance, justice, and survival in a repressive system. After the Civil War, black farmers in Mississippi were systematically confined to sharecropping. They'd give 30 to 50% of their crop to landowners and buy supplies on credit, often ending up deeper in debt each year. Census records show that sharecroppers rarely earned enough to clear their accounts, reinforcing a cycle of poverty. Alongside economic hardship, black families maintained traditions of self-defense. Historians like Akinyele Umoja note that carrying a firearm was common among black communities, not for aggression, but protection. In Mississippi and across the South, people defended their homes against threats from white supremacists or law enforcement. It was the 14th of December, 1923, in the deeply segregated town of Drew, Mississippi. Joe Pullen, a black sharecropper in his 40s, had been farming on land owned by W.T. Saunders, a white planter. Like many sharecroppers, Joe likely found himself trapped in debt. Saunders claimed Pullen owed him money. Whether that was true or just another manipulation in a system built to keep black farmers in poverty, we may never know for certain. That morning, the two men met inside Saunders' cabin to settle accounts. At some point, an argument broke out. Words escalated, and then gunfire. Joe Pullen shot Saunders dead, firing several times. Then, he grabbed his shotgun and pistol and ran for the woods. Within hours, Saunders' associates saw their local white man gathered a posse determined to lynch him. But this wasn't just a small group. Reports suggest that as many as 300 to 1,000 armed men joined the manhunt. Some men arrived on horseback, others in cars. Many carried rifles. Several newspapers report that the posse was equipped with a machine gun. Even more disturbingly, they brought 500 gallons of gasoline, intending to burn the woods if necessary. The goal was clear: find Joe Pullen and make an example of him. Pullen didn't flee far. He took cover in a drainage ditch, in a nearby swampy area thick brush, tall grass, and still water. From there, he began his resistance. Armed with a revolver and shotgun, he held off the mob for nearly 7 hours. Anyone who approached was shot at. R.L. Methven, a former police officer, was one of the first killed. Another man, E.O. Hess, also died. Several more were wounded. Newspapers describe it as a pitched battle, but it was really one man holding back hundreds. The posse, frustrated and shocked, tried to burn him out. They poured gasoline near the ditch and fired repeatedly, some say hundreds of rounds. Still, Joe Pullen fought. His exact words in those final hours are lost to history, but his actions spoke volumes. Eventually, as night fell and Pullen was likely wounded, the mob made its move. They surrounded the ditch and stormed it. In the final minutes, Pullen was either shot at close range or captured and killed soon after. Some accounts say he died in Drew around 2 a.m. Others claim he died at the scene. What is known is what came next. His body was put on display in the town of Drew, left out in public as a warning to any black person who might consider standing up. This was not justice. It was a statement. White newspapers called Pullen a madman or a savage, but in black communities across the country, his name was remembered with quiet pride. Marcus Garvey's Universal Negro Improvement Association published a tribute, saying Joe Pullen should have a monument for his bravery. Future civil rights leader Fannie Lou Hamer often talked about the shootout, and she said that Pullen's body was dragged into town and that people cut off his body parts keep as souvenirs. She also claimed that more than 13 white people had died in the shootout, and other black people in the community also said that more than 19 white people got shot dead. In a time when black people were lynched for looking a white man in the eye, Joe Pullen fought back and held his ground. He wasn't just resisting Saunders. He was resisting a system that crushed black lives under debt, violence, and silence.